What's going on, everybody? This is Travis.
This is Maxtan.
And this is Candid at the Movies. And today we will be reviewing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
It was a kingdom.
Yes, it stars Owen Teague, Freya Allan, Kevin Durand, and that's all I'm going to name.
That's all you really need to know because you're not going to remember their names when you see the movie.
And this movie is basically set right after War of the Planet of the Apes, 300 years later. And you're learning about this young chimpanzee named Noah, who is basically finding out some new things on his journey.
Yeah, I mean, he went on a journey and we went along with it.
Yes.
The world building on this movie is outrageously great.
Yes.
Let's go back and take care of the next part. Cinematography.
Best thing you'll ever see.
Oh my God. You're like, oh, this feels kind of real. There's maybe one or two spots where you can kind of tell. It kind of was like, we gotta push this out, but man,
it was a little choppy, but it wasn't bad.
When we saw it on IMAX, so it could be just a little bit different on a regular movie screen, but yeah, it's gonna be amazing if you get the opportunity to see this in IMAX. Go.
And there's one thing you'll really say about this more than anything.
What's that?
The emotion from all of the monkeys and animals was beautiful, and it doesn't help that you see the Lion King Mufasa trailer before that, and you see no emotion. So this is a welcoming, fresh thing to see.
So
done by the same studio.
Really?
Yep, Disney owns Fox.
Oh yeah, they own it.
Same studio.
But another thing to help make that emotion happen is the musical score that was underneath it. You felt everything. So if you wanted to hear excitement, anger, sadness, if you wanted to see fear and hear it, they did a great job of making sure that you heard it. Now, so with a movie like this, Planet of the Apes, since it is 300 years later, communication is at a very limited manner. Yeah. And so having that musical score underneath you to make you actually feel it in your ears, since you can't hear anybody talk, will create a moment that helps all your senses be involved in the movie.
That's true, and I really like that they branched off a lot of stuff of where the sign language was still involved. A lot of people that are the apes can talk very fast. A lot of them still kind of talking that little broken English, and it was really good communication. And with all of these great things said, I'm going to say, to me, the star of this movie was King Proximus, played by Kevin Durand, who was a character actor that not many people talk about. And to me, this is probably one of his best performances of his whole career. If you remember him from the X-Men movies, you remember him as the Blob.
Did you just call me Blob?
I really enjoyed this movie, but Maxton, tell him some bad stuff about this movie.
So they have what we call a human problem. So in movies like this, especially when you are in a new, what's the best word? When you're in a different reality and you're living with these apes as they're exploring and discovering things in real time, you feel it. But when we bring a human in, we kind of take away from that and we come back to Earth.
The movie dies.
And so since we put our problems into the movie, we have now changed the movie and created a new movie that nobody really enjoyed.
No.
And so many, the questions that we probably had at the beginning of the movie, we were so encased in the movie because of all our senses being involved.
Right.
The human showed up and you're like, yeah.
And you're just like,
what are we doing? What happened? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, and some things are explained and some things aren't. They kind of leave it up to your imagination. And
well, I don't know about the imagination part.
It's not much of it.
They left it up. We kind of figured it out. We're like,
like Maxton said, the humans derail this movie, and even throughout just the storytelling, which is great storytelling throughout the whole movie, but it's like as soon as that human aspect comes in, characters that are making great progression die down.
So that idea of a wonder and like adventure, like when I first started the movie, I'm like, oh, we're doing this now? This is kind of intriguing. And then the human showed up.
Yeah. And there are some things in this movie that like they bring up great points. A lot of things that humans, as we are in our reality, are doing to one another, using false narratives to push one thing, having a book work for one thing and not really what it's for.
Message!
Then it was just like they forgot that in the third act.
Well, the third act, so the first act and the middle of the second act, you would be in a maze, and then after that, it's like,
Yeah. Like, honestly, the weird part was even the way they ended it, which is like to get you a little bit more excited for the next film or what's next gonna happen. I was kind of just like, all right.
Oh no, I really throw hands. I'll just be honest. I'll look at Travis. I was like, "What are we doing, man?" And then the movie's like, "No, we're done." And I'm like, "Oh, well, okay."
Go eat your popcorn, yay!
Well, I mean, so if you can handle it, it is now even still visually is just visually stunning. There's so many pretty pictures. It's just such a great movie to watch in a movie theater. This is what old school theater used to be back.
Yeah, every bit of it.
Big score, big bad villain.
Yeah,
very big open movie, and you get that
super epicness of the '90s. I think the only thing that this didn't have of the '90s is just a random Will Smith is in it. That other than that Will Smith, Tom Cruise, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's what you would have got in the '90s.
So I mean, you don't have that big movie star. The human, one of the humans would have been somebody very, very important, and just people. But I mean, they did a good job. People worked hard. Everybody was acting. They were out in the wilderness.
Good movie.
They had a good time. The sets, the production, beautiful. Like you're everywhere. But once again, the humans.
Yeah, the humans. I'm gonna go ahead and say this: if you're going into this movie and you did not watch the other ones, you will be fine. But there is going to be a big percentage of you that probably didn't watch the last one, and you're going to be mad because Caesar ain't in this movie. That is not Caesar. It's not Caesar. Nothing. Just know, if you're going in and you didn't watch none of the movies, they're going to spoil that for you in the first minute.
Yep.
So don't be hurt or mad that they lied to you, because they didn't.
They did not. This is called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. They did not say, "Hey, he's gonna be here." No, he is there, but not in the way that you want.
That doesn't look like Woody San Francisco. It's not. They didn't lie to you, so don't be mad. Don't be in here causing a fuss, y'all. Please don't.
I hadn't seen the movies. If I have, it's been a long time. I'm a kid. But they did it. So without having the movies there, it felt good. It was something that I could understand. Yeah. It wasn't anything I was really confused about, since it was such a brand new ideals.
Yeah, and that's really what works for this. I hope it gets another trilogy. I'm gonna treat this kind of like the last trilogy that came out. This is the start. Hopefully, like the other two, they become bigger and better. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. We'll see what Disney want to do. Wait, Disney, they might cancel it out of nowhere.
We'll find out in a couple weeks what they're doing.
But Baxter, what is your score for this movie?
So I think, because I'm willing to give them a little grace with the second and third act, I think I'm gonna be at a B.
Okay.
It's just those pictures and the score was just so amazing that you can't, even with those bad plots, you can kind of get there.
Yeah. I am actually gonna give this, even though I love this series and I even love the old school Planet of the Apes, I'm gonna give this a C+, just because I feel like it was just average. It did its job, but as we've said multiple times through this movie, the humans, odd editing choices, and more than anything, the idea that they thought, hey, this is gonna be a good ending and people are gonna love it. That's what swayed my score on this movie.
The biggest thing is what you don't want to see is what you're gonna get at the end. And you're gonna be like, well,
yeah. But that's all we're gonna say about this. That we be going into spoiler territory, and we ain't gonna do that to y'all. We ain't gonna do that to y'all. We might in the comments, but we ain't gonna do that to y'all.
He may.
I'm like, I don't care. But hey, this is Travis.
This is Maxtan.
It's Candid at the Movies. We appreciate y'all checking us out. We'll catch y'all later.